Well, I chatted with sports director Kent Spencer to get his perspective.
I guess just what's your initial reaction to hearing the Derby news? I mean, that especially GA is going to be cut out of the viewers.
Yeah, not surprised at all. I mean, especially when you look around the country, like if you look at, Augusta National, they said, no fans at the Masters this year. The golf world has gone completely no fans. Major League Baseball, no fans. So not surprised. I mean, it's, the fact that they're going to be able to get in a percentage, albeit a small percentage, is still a good thing. Remember, a few months they said that a September 5th Derby is going to be unlike any Derby that you've ever seen before. And guess what? They're right. But to be able to have people to be, in Churchill Downs is still a pretty good thing. And they're going to try to keep them safe.
So here's an interesting thing that I've been thinking about. So far, I believe the previous race was raced without fans. So do you think that having some fans is going to affect the way that these horses run?
No, I mean, most of these horses, they've all raced as 2-year-olds. So when they raced as 2-year-olds, most of them, the stands were packed, right? So even I think the thing about it is even though there's going to be some fans, in Churchill Downs, I still think it's going to look pretty empty compared to what we're used to, like the 170,000. And so I don't think it'll be a big change. And, when you think about, trainers and jockeys and these horses, they've been so accustomed in the last few months to racing and operating with so few people around. For them, that day is going to be like business as usual at a regular track.
Mm-hmm. And you're so well connected in that community with trainers and jockeys and things like that. I was wondering if there was anyone you spoke to leading up to this decision, or if you've spoken to anyone since the decision that has shared any kind of opinion on it, if they think it's good, bad, anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to, a few weeks ago, I talked to Bob Baffert, and he said that, really for him, the Derby's still the Derby. It's still, whether they can have fans or whether they can't have fans or a certain percentage, it's still going to be the Derby. And he thinks that, when it comes to the Triple Crown, that Derby is the crown jewel. So it's still going to have that feeling. The guy that I wonder about is somebody like Louisville native Tom Drury, who has Art Collector, who just won the Ellis Park Derby this past weekend, won the Bluegrass Stakes. This is going to be the first horse that he's going to saddle in the Kentucky Derby. And I would still imagine that walkover will be just as special. Will it be as special if the place was absolutely packed and probably a lot of people screaming, his name as he's making that walkover? It'll probably be different, but I think it'll still be special because for him, as somebody who grew up, he always grew up dreaming about this race.